Good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Day week and special thanks for joining today's service. This is the annual Spring Memorial Service for 2022. And what a divine arrangement it is. Today is the 68th birthday of the late Reverend Mikisaburo, who passed away last month, February 2nd. To honor him, I will be speaking about him in today's sermon. Since last year's autumn memorial, we have had one newly departed soul connected to our church, Mr. J.C. Paul Newton, who is a Marshall Humfeld's grandfather. He passed away September 20th. Welcoming his Mitama speech for today's service, I especially have asked Kami to read his Mitama speech to the world of peace and joy in the next world. On February 24, 2022, Russia launched a large-scale invasion of Ukraine. Ukraine is strong in their cause to defend their country. Many Ukrainians are giving their life for their country. That is why Ukraine has been able to hold out against Russia without a cause, even though there is a huge difference in military equipment. There are many casualties for both countries. It's a tragedy for the people of Ukraine and for the people of Russia. I can't help but pray that peace will come sooner rather than later. During this spring memorial service, I also pray for the Mitama spirit of the victim in this war. Konko has taught, because humans are born through the blessing of Kami, they must also die with the blessings of Kami. Therefore, if a childbirth is a happy event, then death is a much happier event since one becomes the Kami. The reason why death is so abhorred is because people have not yet developed enough peace of mind to accept death. Practice faith so that you will be blessed with peace of mind. There are no knowing when one will die. It is determined by Kami. It is too late to practice faith after Christ has already arisen. People must always have faith which will be strong enough for crucial times. Reverend Mikisaburo, who has recently passed away, is the most important person for me. His death has made me realize that the depth of Kami's thoughtfulness is far beyond human measure. By seeking sincerely for Kami's deep wish about his death, I cannot help but realize Kami requesting all of us to follow his steps of faith for achieving peace and joy in our heart. With all his heart, he developed his faith in order to establish the work era in this world. I would like to tell you of the life and death of the Reverend Mikisaburo. Throughout his life, he has done his best to pursue the Bagakoro, a peaceful, joyful heart. He then created a kind of curriculum for Bagakoro and opened his private cram school for Bagakoro. Every day for many years, he conducted private lessons for 3 or 4 people, each lasting an hour and a half, as often as he could throughout the day. He must have had more than 100 students. It was as though he was in a rush. He hastened to talk of the importance of Bagakoro. Although in his childhood, he didn't like to talk in public and could never get himself to do it. I revere him so much that this news of his death gave me a shock, though I had been prepared. My tears flowed endlessly, but at the same time I could not help but extend my deepest appreciation to him. He was born as the third son of the Reverend Soichiro and Isoyo on March 13, 1954. His father was in the midst of 4.5 years of faith training from 1950 to 1955. Reverend Otsubo accepted everything without a thought about what would happen to him. Whether Kami brought good or bad upon him, during that time, his acceptance of everything was truly amazing. Then Reverend Otsubo realized genuine faith was to reflect each happening with good attitude as Kami is doing. His son was named Mikisaburo because his grandfather received in a revelation Miki, a bottle of sake, but Miki can also mean three mi, joy ki, which are thankfulness, arigataki, preciousness, mottainaki, and awesomeness, osoreoki. Kami wished him to become a person who would receive these three joys and give them to people around him. He was very shy and had a language disorder in his childhood days. He revered his father so much and sat for the first time at the meditation seat at age 11. However, he didn't want to become a Konko minister because he didn't like to speak in public. That was why he entered the High School of Architecture. Soon after, his right jaw was swollen and became bigger and bigger and stiff. It became as if he were an old man with edema in the Japanese folk tale. It was left alone for a year and a half. His life was dark at ages 15, 16, and 17, and is the lyrics of in one of the Japanese popular songs. One day, his home teacher said to him, "Your religion is one that refused to go to the hospital." With determined heart, he went to the meditation seat to ask his father what he should do. His father's reply was, "What a treasure you have! You can deepen your faith due to this illness." With mixed emotion, he left the worship hall and cried his heart out. Then he started to attend the morning prayer service. Reverend Otsubo told him, "This is training. It is not what you desire, but what Kami is requesting of you. It is important to make a decision to accept it." Once he determined to do so, Kami's work became remarkable. Soon there was a health examination for his school excursion. He would not be allowed to join the excursion due to his swollen jaw. At that time, Reverend Otsubo and his wife had planned to attend the memorial service at the Konko Honbu. So Reverend Otsubo asked him to go to Honbu with them. Reverend Otsubo thought this might be the last trip for a parent-child trip together. Just after they came back from the trip, a doctor specialized in otolaryngology visited the church. He asked Mikisaburo Sensei to open his mouth, and then his complexion drastically changed. It was as if he just received a death sentence and called him to cry. The doctor asked Reverend Otsubo to please let him be hospitalized immediately for surgery at Kurume Medical College. At that time, Reverend Otsubo told his son, "The reality of humanity is that there is a life today and no life tomorrow. It's like you are standing on a precipice right now. And if you take one step forward, you are doomed to fall. But at this point, if you turn around, a world of endless blessing will open for you." And added, "To do that, it is good for you to wish to be of service for Kami's wish that human beings may be fulfilled." The doctor had said, "Even with surgery, it's 99% impossible to be cured." When Reverend Otsubo heard this, he said, "Now it is my turn." The doctor also wanted to see the face of the parent who had let this illness worsen for such a long time. However, when he operated, the doctor was utterly surprised to find that bad tumor had all gathered and were wrapped together. Therefore, they could be taken out in one full swoop. After successful surgery, Revan and Mikisaburo Sensei went to their parent church to extend their appreciation to Kami. It was there that Revan received this revelation from Kami. Like persimmons are falling down. Among all of them, only one has not fallen and remains. When looking closely, one could see it was supported by a twist of Kami's paper. Explaining this revelation to his son, Reverend Otsuo told him, if you forget Kami's blessing, you will lose your life, just as this persimmon would fall without the support of Kami's paper. Reverend Otsuo asked Mikisaburo Sensei to join his morning prayer for a week by sitting with him from 3:30 a.m. He was young, but accepted the offer, since it would only be for a week. After a week, Reverend Otsuo said nothing to him about this matter. Mikisaburo Sensei was so shy that he couldn't say anything. He couldn't ask if he could stop. Ever since then, he has come for morning prayer services throughout his whole life. One day, Reverend Otsuo said to him, "You will realize that it shall be great to continue through this morning prayer service for 30 years. It is then you will feel you are allowed to have the power of faith and divine virtue." He actually received such divine power and divine virtue that anyone could not help but admire his charming divine grace. Mikisaburo Sensei had pursued Wakoro with all his heart since he had started to join the morning prayer service. Then he came to realize the ultimate value of Wakoro. Manifesting Kami's glory of Wakoro, he started to advocate the importance of climbing the mountain of Wakoro. Everywhere and at any time, he would talk about Wakoro, such as what Wakoro is, the necessity of Wakoro, and how to develop Wakoro. As I said before, he opened his private cram school for Wakoro at the Konko Church of Chicago. He started group by reciting the Divine Reminder. Then he and his students recite these words together. Let us learn the way. Let us step onto its road. Let us tell people this way. He has done his best to follow this way. It is not too much to say that his life has been wrapped in the heart of Wakoro. His last words were, "I earnestly wish to be of service to Kami. However, without being allowed, I cannot do so." With such enthusiasm like his, let us manifest Wakoro and serve Kami in order for Kami's wish to establish the Wakoro era in this world would be fulfilled.